Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the 2007 horror movie, found footage horror movie, the Ploughkeepsie Tapes. And this is a film that I basically found out about a few days ago. I like found footage movies. I'd just watched The Tunnel and I was looking for another good found footage movie that I'd not heard of before to watch, and this one came up a few times in people's recommendations and stuff like that, and I thought I'll give it a go. 2007, why not? Guys, this is a film. This is one of the most effective and deeply disturbing films that I've ever seen. I can't get it out of my head. It's really shocking and very effective, and I think why this film has bothered me so much. I mean, you can watch as many monster found footage movies, as many paranormal found footage movies, but you know deep inside, generally speaking, that it ain't real. That couldn't happen. Well, this film, the Ploughkeepsie Tapes, focuses on a serial killer in the 90s, fictional serial killer, thank God, who basically leaves his legacy of all the things he's been doing over all the years he's been doing it on a series of videotapes that the authorities find in this house abandoned. They find literally rows and rows and rows of videotapes that document all his graphic, awful crimes. And this film is a mixture of a documentary style interviews sewed together with footage from these tapes, or supposedly from these tapes. And it's hard to watch. It really is hard to watch. I can't make my mind up whether this is a good film or a bad film. It's a good film in a sense of how effective it is and how real it is, and it makes you think it's real. It makes you feel like you're watching one of those documentaries on like the Crime Channel or something, that you see when they're talking about serial killers. It's really well made, but I have to say I really struggled to watch this film because of the imagery. Some of the imagery within it, it was sick and disturbing and very upsetting, and like I say, deeply affecting. I'm quite a sensitive person, maybe that's why. I don't know if this kind of stuff doesn't bother you. It might not bother you. I can't see it personally. Really, imagine the Zodiac times by 10, and the Zodiac was real, and this serial killer scares me far more than the bloody Zodiac. Really shocking images, incredibly difficult to watch, and I actually felt for the actresses in this movie that they're essentially the victims of this serial killer in the film. One of the most I don't know how to describe the serial killer in this film. He makes Hannibal look like you know what I mean, Mother Teresa. It's just awful and terrifying, and the film gets progressively more disturbing as it goes on. I mean, there's literally some imagery that you'll see in this film that just will blow your mind, and you can't get your head around what you're seeing. I mean, and you can see the sheer terror in these actresses' faces, and a couple of times it crosses your mind, is this a film? Or is this some kind of snuff movie? It makes you question what you're watching in this film. It really does, and that has to be something pretty bloody special, in my opinion, in regards to what they've done. I'd never heard of this film until I looked into it, and when I've researched it and stuff, apparently after it's got its release in 2007, it didn't get a home release on DVD or Blu-ray until 2014, I think, was the first time it was released. That probably says a lot about this film to you guys in regards to it. It's probably mulled over for quite some time as to whether it should be released, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't really give a reason as to why it wasn't released, but I know how this film made me feel, so I suspect they know how this film makes a lot of people feel. It is arguably And I've thought about this. Arguably one of the most disturbing films I've ever seen. After The Human Centipede, for some reason I decided to watch The Human Centipede a few years ago, and I regretted it deeply. I think that's a disgracefully awful film. This isn't a disgracefully awful film. It's a deeply effective film that's well made, that gets really under your skin and buries itself in there and won't leave you alone. I'm still thinking about it now, the following day after watching it. If you like serial killer type movies, if you like found footage type movies like this, I do strongly recommend you see it, but please be warned, it is pretty intense, this film. I found it upsetting, so I'm sure there's a good few audience members who watch this film will find it upsetting. So please just go into this film with that warning. Be aware what you're going to watch. I didn't have a clue what I was watching initially. I just thought it was going to be a bog standard found footage film. Boy, was I wrong. I didn't even know it was about a serial killer. I don't know what I thought. Well, I got some hints as to what it was about when I was researching found footage movies, but I didn't know the depth as what it was. Yeah, for me, guys, very, very effective movies. I can't honestly say that this is a film I like. I'm not sure I ever want to watch it again, but I cannot deny the effect that it's had on me, and how well made it is, because you genuinely believe what you're watching. You're actually in shock at what you're watching. Yeah, and that image you see on screen then right now, they explain that in the film, that those are all the videotapes lined up of all his crimes and murders and scenes of torture. And there's this one poor victim that he kidnaps. He doesn't kill, and he keeps her as a slave for years, and the things he does. Well, I'm not going to repeat, put it that way. So yeah, guys, if this is your type of film, really ultra realistic documentary style found footage movie we get about a serial killer, I don't think you'll be disappointed with this film. I don't. I think it'll upset you. I think it'll bother you. I think it'll get under your skin. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say on this film, guys. So I'm going to give this film a 7 out of 10 for what it is. It probably deserves a higher rating because it's ultimately incredibly well made and very, very effective, but I didn't like it because of how it made me feel. So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Shoot me if you like. It probably deserves more. So yeah, there you go, guys. The Ploughkeepsie Tapes. Really deeply upsetting film that if you're going to watch, go in there knowing that, guys. So thank you very much for watching.